Hey, welcome back to My Record Road Trip. Now today, before we start our interview, I want to give you some special instructions. You need to watch the video till the end, because at the end, I'm going to tell you how you could possibly win our 100 subscriber giveaway. Yes, we did it. We finally hit 100 subscribers. And in order to thank you, we're going to give a couple albums away, but you have to watch to the end to find out how you can enter. So now here we go. Today we are at Retroactive Records and Games in Suisun City, California. We're going to talk with owner Steve, so let's go check it out. Hello everybody, we're here with Steve at Retroactive Records and Games in Suisun City. Did I say that right?
Suisun, yep.
Suisun City. And he's going to give us a little tour of his shop, and we're going to pick up some new music today.
Everything's kind of separated by genre over here. We have the rock stuff against the wall, a lot of miscellaneous non-music stuff, classical, big band, soul and funk, international music, jazz, and collectible stuff. This side of the store, we have kind of like the more bargain stuff, some of like the kind of scratch and dent section, I call it. And a lot of that stuff is marked down because of damage, but still playable. And we do tapes, CDs, and the other half of the business is retro video games. And we carry PlayStation stuff, Nintendo, Xbox, a little bit of everything. And we sell the consoles and the games.
And you buy, sell, and trade.
That's correct.
Both records and games.
We get a lot of cool stuff from our customers and people who bring us stuff. Yeah.
How long have you been at this location?
This location has been open for around 14 years.
Wow.
I took over the store from the previous owner about 3 years ago.
And what made you decide to take it over?
It's my midlife crisis.
I've heard that a lot.
I was a teacher for about 16 years in Oakland and around the Bay Area. My wife and I moved out to Vallejo, and this kind of became my record store of choice. And the previous owners had some hardship and had to move out of the state, and we worked out a great deal, and we all kind of moved forward with it.
How long did you teach before you decided to do this?
15, 16 years, yeah.
So this is what you do full time now?
This is it, yeah, okay. Full time. I've been a collector and a hoarder all my life. My wife and parents claimed that I was always preparing for this, but it was just kind of right place at right time. I think it's a daunting task to open with nothing, so it was kind of nice to start with some inventory.
Right.
And
what else did you collect before you got into the vinyl and the games?
Music equipment. I played in a bunch of bands and kind of shuffled through a lot of gear and that when I was younger. Baseball cards and things like that. But yeah, now it's mostly the records taken over.
And then do you have another personal collection at home?
It's always being added to. I kind of whittled it down from years and years of collecting, and now just have the stuff that I really like and listen to.
You still pick up a lot of stuff from here that people bring in, and you're like, no, I'm just gonna take this with me.
It's one of the hazards of the job. Yeah, definitely. I'm always leaving with the crate of records on today or Sunday, but I kind of call that I like rent a lot of that stuff and listen to it, and we'll bring it back in the store if I don't necessarily need it. But there is definitely a lot of stuff that I do keep. Yeah. So some of it comes in naturally, but no, I still actively buy at the record fairs and on Discogs and trade with friends.
So when you took over the business, obviously it was already had inventory in it, so you didn't have to worry about that. So and now do you pick up a lot of people's their collections and they bring it in? Yeah,
I love buying big collections, but people will bring in 1-2 records at a time, and typically they want trade. There's sometimes when people want cash, obviously, too. And it's been a really good year for buying collections, and I feel like I have a big backstock, so around the holidays, it's easier to kind of pull into the backstock and not have to dig into your collection as much as you need to. Yeah.
So you went from teaching to running a small business. Big difference?
Huge difference. Yeah, I had no retail experience before this.
So what made you think I can do this?
Just the support of my wife. The Solano Small Business Department, actually.
Cool.
We went through them, and they were super helpful, kind of crunching the numbers and seeing if it was worthwhile or not. Someone gave me the advice to get a bookkeeper, which I'm terrible at numbers and math, so that was a huge help in the beginning. So from day one, it was a lot less stressful than it needed to be, and it was more fun. Running a store with two fronts, with the records and the games, the flow of business really depends on what you have in stock. I use social media to kind of show off the cool stuff that I get, and that really draws people in, and that's an amazing part of that tool. You know, there's good and bad with everything, of course, but that's probably the best thing for social media to help the store.
So with the vinyl side, you said you collected, but did you really have like a deep knowledge of it, or is it just something you've just started picking up as you've owned the business and seen stuff come through?
I'd always collected. I mean, I grew up in Buffalo, New York, going to punk and hardcore shows as a kid. It was really the format of choice back then, and still is, you know, with those genres. And I'd always bought stuff, always had a record player. I didn't really understand a lot of like the nuances of the gradings and the pressings, and so that was kind of a trial by fire. You just have to learn it. It's like learning a new language, but once you get it, it's kind of, you know, the symbols, you know, the grading, there's a lot more. Everybody kind of has their own opinions about that and would grade things slightly different, but I try to price things under market to kind of get higher turnover. And I think like I see a lot of the prices online nowadays seem so bloated. And a lot of people are claiming that all the records that they're selling are near mint, and that's just impossible, you know? And so I think I approach it from a realistic standpoint, and I like giving people better deals on the bloated market that there is online and with resellers and, you know, that world.
Now on the game side, were you just a big gamer, or was that part of this when you purchased it, or did you add that?
It was part of the business when I purchased it, and I grew up with like Nintendo and Atari, to date myself, and but the other stuff, I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about it, but you know, I kind of learned as I went, and they're very similar worlds. You know, you can buy a collection of records and you're really buying everything for about 20%. It's kind of the same thing with video games. People will bring you in a big tote of record or games, and you know certain games will be on the shelf a year from today, and some will be gone by the end of the day or tomorrow. So it's very, you kind of learn what sells and what to buy, and maybe kind of what to shy away from. And you know, same with records too. You're like, oh my gosh, I have so many of these, and these Rolling Stones records are not flying off the shelves, and you know, you just kind of learn what to get and what not to get. I just joke with people and say that I'm, you know, a specialist in dead media or things that are obsolete, and you know. Do
you have any other audio equipment you sell? I see the speakers. Is that just part of the store?
Well, we do live music occasionally, so that was our PA for bands who needed one to use, and that's just something that has been with me forever. We do carry a little bit of audio equipment, but it's kind of one of those things that a lot of the older solid state stuff needs so much love and time to put into it that I've been kind of shying away from that unless it's 100% functional and working really well, because I want people to be happy with the product that they're getting.
So you say you have live music. How often does that happen?
So it gets really hot in Sassoon in the summertime, so we kind of shut it down for then. We just had our first show of this year. I guess it's already the end of the year, but we had 3 bands play here 3 weeks ago, and then we're setting up one in December right now.
Nice.
And we've done punk, we've done hip hop, grind, indie, a little bit of everything, which is what we try to, you know, since we have a community, like a big enough space, we like to make it more of a community space and kind of try to open it to everyone. We definitely give preferential treatment to younger people who might not have a place to play that, you know, isn't a bar or something like that. You know, there's really no all ages venues in Solano County. That's such an important thing to have, especially for the younger generations that are getting into music, and then they see their friends playing and think, oh, I can do that, which is, I think, the most important thing. And when I was in the Bay Area, there was always a number of places in Oakland and San Francisco. 21 Grand comes to mind, which was always putting on anything and everything. And unfortunately, after the fire that happened in Oakland at Ghost Ship, a lot of those places were shut down, and a lot of the landlords evicted a lot of those people running those spaces. And that wasn't just an Oakland thing. That was every city in the U.S. that had, punk houses or, places that would put on shows. And it really made a big hole, I would say, in a lot of scenes for 4 or 5 years where there just was no place to play, no place to go to see people play. And it turned into a very bar-centric thing. Not a lot of people like going out to bars to see music. Right. And I mean, myself included, I would much rather just see it in a different space.
And do they play in here, or do you have them play somewhere?
Right in here, this is kind of the space. We used to have more of this kind of stretching out a little bit, but then we just got rid of one of these and made a little more space and got rid of a number of the like audio equipment, and just it's enough space, and there's maybe like 40 or 50 people will come out to it. It's always really fun. Yeah, it's always super positive, and since we are kind of tucked away, a lot of people don't really know where the store is, or maybe don't have a car, or don't know, how to get here, and so it opens people's eyes to like that this is here. And Sassoon City has a lot of history. Me and the comic book store guy down the road, John, are the only retail in town.
Oh, really?
And for some reason, there's so many restaurants here and so many salons here, but we're the only retailers.
It seems like an area that would have like tons of little antique shops just from driving through.
That's always the hope that we see. There's a couple of spaces next to, adjacent to where I am, are becoming available, and I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed for that. Hopefully that a change can happen.
Yeah, just warning people, if you're driving here using GPS and you think you're going the wrong way, keep driving. You're going to get here eventually, and it's going to be the place you want to be, trust me. So anything else that you would like to share with us about the store?
Not off the top of my head, yeah.
Well, I have a request from one of my subscribers. He wants me to ask you, is there something you would recommend for me to buy today that maybe you think maybe I haven't heard of, something that you're a fan of that maybe I should hear?
Maybe not necessarily that you've never heard, but the one thing that is wild right now is that we have probably 3 or 4 original John Prine records in the store, which just typically don't come in as much. And I love that stuff in the wintertime, and it's like a kind of like more of like a country sort of leaning, but really, really solid stuff. He did a lot of music for other people, but a lot of people slept on, his original records under his own namesake.
Well, I'm going to have to pick that up too. Just for you, Ramon. This is for you. I think it's an awesome store, and I want to thank you for doing this for me.
Oh, I appreciate you coming out here. Yeah, thank you.
Hopefully we make a couple more trips out here to check this out. So everyone, I want to thank Steve for showing us around, and we're going to give you a couple more views of the store, and thanks, and we'll talk to you later. See ya. Oh, thank you. All right, here we go. Here are the rules for the giveaway. First, you have to like this video and subscribe. Then in the comment section, you have to tell us which album you would like to win and what your favorite record store is. It could be anywhere in the world. Just let me know, and maybe someday I will visit it. For extra entries, check out our Instagram and follow us there. All right, we just got done talking to Steve, and then we picked up some new merch today. We got a Retroactive Records and Games t-shirt. Gave us some free stickers. He also gave us a free tote bag. And on the vinyl side, this is what we got today. We got Radiohead's OK Computer. This was not my pick. We got God Bless Tiny Tim. We got Willie Nelson Stardust. Beach House Depression Cherry. And this is for you, Ramon. This was the owner's pick for me to listen to. John Prine, Sweet Revenge. And I'll give it a listen, and I'll let you know what I think. Now, these are the two possible giveaways that you could win if you follow the instructions correctly. We got Michael Jackson's Thriller and Nirvana's Nevermind. 2 staples everyone should own. So make sure you follow the instructions, and these could possibly be yours. All right, everybody, I want to thank you for coming with me on another stop on my record road trip. And I hope you come back and see where my next stop is going to be. Peace.